What's kicking, y'all? Kwikpanik here, and I am back in gear. Don't you have no fear. Today's episode is Funko Pop flavored, and today, do I have a lot of pops. I was a little bit worried because normally I was buying like 2 or 3 pops a week, which is normal for me, and the stuff just wasn't coming out. Like everything that I wanted had like a July release date, and that's what this huge box on the bottom is. So I have a couple. Like I have the entire Dragon Ball Z Common Wave that's in here, as well as one of the exclusives that was released. And then I have just some other random stuff that I've picked up. I have everything from the Rick and Morty wave that I wanted that's been released I also got. So I'm going to go over those two. The first one was just something, if you guys don't know, I have a grocery store called HEB that's around the corner, and that's where I do all my shopping. They started stocking pops. I finally picked up the Black Widow pop from Avengers Endgame. I'm a huge Avengers Endgame fan, and I loved Black Widow in this movie. I feel like they finally fleshed out her character, and I liked this mold, and based on how the movie goes, I just don't know if we're going to get any other Black Widow pops. Sorry, that's partially a spoiler, but I love how the 5-year time lapse is like captured there, where her ponytail is still blonde at the tip, and she's like grown out her hair, and she's not re-dyed it or anything. I wanted to pick her up just because I love Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. What do we do next? Let's open a box first, and then I'll go over some stuff that I picked up locally at comic book shops. So I have a knife somewhere. Comic book shops. We should talk about them. Funko usually prefers to get their orders out to Hot Topic and GameStop. Will be the first place, and Box Lunch by extension of Hot Topic. Those will be the first places that you see newly released pops. But they do not have old stuff. So old Funko Pops from, I think these are from 2012 to 2013, something in there. And, enjoy my address. Have fun with that. The place that you get super cool old pop stuff is at people who are like standalone shops. So I'm going to go over those here in a little bit. This was a back-ordered pop. So I am a Game of Thrones fan, not like to the extent that I'm a Marvel fan, but the reason that I watched the show was because of direwolves and dragons, and I regretted not picking this up a while back. So I went to Entertainment Earth, who I normally go to for stuff that I know that is not vaulted, but it is also not expensive. You can barely see his face, but this is Rhaegal, okay? Rhaegal is one of the 3 dragons. There's Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion, and I picked up Drogon on Pop Culture, the 6-inch one. So this is a 6-inch pop. This is Rhaegal. He's the second to last one that died. Rest in peace, friend. But I picked him up and Viserion on Entertainment Earth, which I highly recommend. They always ship their stuff with like extra care. There's a lot of like stuffing in there, and I just really like Entertainment Earth. I really recommend that you go there and check out if there's any pops that you want, you're worried about condition. Definitely check them out. So I picked up Rhaegal. Viserion's still on back order, so you'll probably see him in a future video. But for now, he's going to go next to his brother, Drogon. They also sent me this cool sticker, Entertainment Earth. I don't know if that's backwards because cameras, but that was pretty cool of them to send as well. So I got Rhaegal. We got Black Widow. Before we get into the Dragon Ball Z stuff, I want to... I picked these all up from my local GameStop, and I gotta say, if you care about box condition and you want to make sure that you get pops as soon as they come out, highly recommend pre-ordering them at your GameStop. I know I've heard stories, but those are not the rule. Those are the exception to the rule, where employees are like taking your pre-orders. That doesn't really happen, especially not where I am. So shout out to my GameStop homies who always hook me up with the mintiest of boxes, because I am super particular. I wish this would come out of the box. Oh, that's not even a Rick and Morty one. I want to show you guys the 2 Rick and Morty ones that I got. These are all the Dragon Ball Z ones that we'll go over here in a second. Those are all Dragon Ball Z. The Dragon Ball Z set is freaking fire, so I'm sorry that you're having to wait to do that last, but it makes more sense. Okay, so I picked up 2 pops from the new Rick and Morty set. These are all Dragon Ball Z. I can't believe I went to go pick up my pre-orders, and they're like, you have 10 pops to pick up. 10! That's insane. So I gave them my credit card. Debit card, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the first one that I picked up you can see the new set here. Oh, there we go. You got like Big Squanchy. This is Dr. Xenon Bloom. There was the episode with the Purge, so you got Rick and Morty in their Purge suits. I don't remember what the teacher's name is, but he's there from his dream sequence. Oh, excuse me. And then Snowball in the massive mech suit. So this is Dr. Xenon Bloom. I picked him up. This is like the first or second episode of Rick and Morty. I wanted to pick him up. He's really cool. He's translucent. Didn't know he was going to be like that, but he's translucent. And he is voiced by John Oliver, which is a comic and like satirical news reporter. I don't know what to call him. He's a comic, but he has some really amazing ideas on how the world should be. So since he voiced that character and I really enjoyed that episode, I picked up Dr. Xenon Bloom. I don't think I'm going to complete the entire Rick and Morty set, but the characters I really care about, I wanted to. So this is Berserker Squanchy. This is the second one. And this is when Squanchy gets like all pumped up and ready to fight. Okay, so I'm confused because Funko said this was going to be a 6-inch in all their advertisements, and this is like quite obviously not a 6-inch pop. But I still wanted him. He's buff. It's like Hulk Squanchy, and that character's a little gross. So if you don't appreciate gross stuff, probably don't want to check that out. Before I get into the Dragon Ball Z stuff, I'm going to show you some stuff that I picked up locally. The first one, I was on my lunch break, and there's a comic book shop called not that one, Alien Worlds. And I went there on my lunch break to pick up some pop stacks, and I walked in and they had this beauty, Cortana from the Halo 4 Funko Pop set. This thing has been so hard for me to track down in mint condition, and I was actually lucky enough to get to choose between two. Somebody traded in two Cortanas, or two people traded them in close proximity, and I'm just really happy because Halo 2 was like the first-person shooter that I really, really loved. I played GoldenEye back in the day, but Halo 2, man, that was my jam back in the day. So I wanted to pick up Cortana. I have Arbiter, I have Master Chief, and I just really needed Cortana to round that out. The second one, shout out to my boy Ian over at Pure Joy Toys. Like I said, if you want to get the older stuff, you have to go and look in places other than retail, you know? So he found this for me. Somebody brought it into his shop. It's Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. So the first round of Sonic the Hedgehog pops are kind of off-putting. I didn't like Sonic, so when the new Sonic series came out of pops, I was really happy to pick those up. Knuckles is my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character, so I need to find him next, but there's no Tails in the new set and there's no Knuckles in the new set. It's just Sonic and Shadow and Dr. Eggman. So I was really happy to pick those up. I've been looking for them for, I don't know, it's probably been 3 years that I've been looking for them. So it was nice to cross them off the list. So let's get into the new Dragon Ball Z wave. So this wave has a bunch of characters that I've wanted forever, and it has some remodels, so new models on characters that we already had, but I think we were lacking. So the first one is Chi-Chi, so that's Goku's wife. And I was really surprised we didn't have one of her yet, but Dragon Ball Super is really taking off. And, well, taking off. It's been popular. What am I saying? But the Dragon Ball Z pops sell incredibly well. And I think it was a good choice to finally include her because she is scary. She's scarier than Beerus. 100%. Who do I want to go into next? There's a lot of really cool ones. Let's go into Goten. So Goten has a pop now. There was the 2-pack with Goten and Trunks doing the fusion dance, but now we have a standalone Goten where he's just kind of like wearing his I'm being homeschooled outfit. And yeah, I want to have at least one of each character, and this is the first chance that I've gotten for him, so I'm excited about that. I'll get to that box in a second. Let's take these out of the box. Who's next? I think these all go together. Oh my gosh. So they put them in these protectors, which is amazing. Because it keeps them from getting damaged. But these keep getting hooked on something, or... Oh, there we go. Okay, so this next one I was incredibly excited for. This is Raditz. Okay, if you don't remember Raditz is in the first series, Dragon Ball Z, first season. And this is like the first big bad guy. And, oh my gosh, his mold looks amazing. His hair is wild. He's got his scouter on. This is just... Oh, I was so excited to finally have Raditz, and he's holding his hands like he's going to shoot out an energy a blast or something. I don't know what move he used, but he's got his tail wrapped around his belt, which you may or may not be able to see this close, far away, whatever. But this is the cool stuff I want to see, Funko. Like getting these guys, the old enemies. Yeah. So along with Raditz, we have Nappa, who is the bad guy who came down with Vegeta. And I really wanted to see these guys. Like, this was the first iteration of Dragon Ball Z I was ever introduced to. I didn't watch Dragon Ball first. I watched Dragon Ball Z on Toonami at like 10 p.m. on weeknights with my dad. And this is what I remember and I loved about Dragon Ball Z. Like, so we also have Vegeta, and I know we have a million Vegeta pops out there in the world, but this is Vegeta with his tail on. This is when he first came down to Earth and met Kakarot. And yeah, I'm a little surprised they don't have a scouter on him, but the original Vegeta had his scouter, so I don't know. I love Vegeta. He's my man. I love that he has like this story where he was like just a super awful guy and then he turned it all around. Inspiring, right? Okay, so this one, I definitely have a bunch of him, but like I said, new pose. So we have a new pose for Goku. If you are familiar. Oh, I thought that was a scratch. If you're familiar with the Funko Pop sets that we have for Dragon Ball Z, the Goku that we have from back in the day is really old style Funko, and this one's just more posed, and I'm just a huge fan of that. The other ones that we get are like Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God. Whoop! Well, Pikachu's dead. He just got hit with a super effective attack. The next two pops are ones that I feel like they should have had a long time ago. The first one that we have is Frieza, when he's in his like regular form and they're on Namek and we first encounter Frieza. He has his little pod that he floats around in and he's just tiny. The one that we had was the final form, so we have the version with his horns. I was really excited to pick that one up because that was like the first. I don't know, Vegeta didn't feel like a bad guy for some reason. I don't know, Frieza just felt insurmountable. Vegeta didn't feel like that when we first got to him. And then we have Kid Buu. So we had Majin Buu that came out in the second series of Dragon Ball Z Pops, but now we got Kid Buu, who is terrifying in the show. But I'm super happy that they finally made him into pop form. Now this last one is what's in this box, and there are some other exclusives like the metallic Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku doing the Kamehameha. That was a Chalice Collectibles exclusive, and there's also the 6-inch Broly glow-in-the-dark chase. Well, 6-inch Broly with a glow-in-the-dark chase. And I have those ordered, so expect to see those in future videos. If you enjoy this kind of content, if you like the pop stuff, let me know in the comment section. Leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm bringing Funko Pop content every week. And if you'd like to see something else, just like a talking video, explanation video, totally down to do one of those too. But here's the last one and the one that I'm most excited for, honestly. And it's Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And this mold looks great. They've done such a good job with the Dragon Ball Z Pops. I think Dragon Ball Z and Overwatch are like the best translations into pop form that we've gotten for a series. But this is the last one. It was a AAA anime exclusive or something like that. So I got this off of Arconia.com. You might still be able to get it. It might be sold out. I'm not sure. But that's all I've got. That's the entire Dragon Ball Z wave that's been released up to this point. Like I said, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what kind of pop content you want to see, or just tell me which one of these pops you liked the most. Anyway, that is all I've got today. Follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. I'm streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. That is all I've got for today. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Later.